Hi friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn how to analyze a circuit using mesh analysis. So far, we have learned basic concepts regarding circuit theory and also we have completed nodal analysis. If you don't watch the previous lectures on the circuit theory, please watch them and then come back. Very important and fundamental concepts are discussed in previous videos. I will provide you the links in the description. Go and watch it and then come back to this video. Now coming to our topic of today's discussion, mesh analysis. What is there in this mesh analysis? Like nodal analysis, mesh analysis is also a general procedure for analyzing electric circuits by combining the application of KVL and Ohm's law. So mesh analysis is an application of KVL plus Ohm's law. So if you know how to apply KVL and Ohm's law, the major part of the mesh analysis is over. The remaining things is about mathematical calculations involved to get the solution. We know that KVL is applicable for closed paths in a circuit. But we know that the technical names of closed paths in a circuit are nothing but mesh and loop. We know that this mesh is a fundamental closed path in a circuit. So in this mesh analysis technique, we take mesh currents as circuit variables. Hence the name is given as mesh analysis. So in mesh analysis, our goal is to find mesh currents. Let us take a simple circuit and analyze it by using this mesh analysis. So as a first problem, I have taken a circuit with only voltage sources. Let us discuss the circuits with current sources later. As I said, now in mesh analysis, our target is to find the mesh currents. Let us develop the general procedure to find the mesh currents. Procedure to find mesh currents. So as a first step, identify number of meshes in the given circuit. And let there be m meshes. By observing our example circuit, there are two meshes. This is a mesh and this is second mesh. So as a second step, assume arbitrary mesh currents in m meshes. To get a better readability of meshes, let us name the circuit. Let this node as B, this as C, this node as D, let this node as E, let this point as for better readability. So as a second step, assume arbitrary mesh currents. So this is mesh current 1 and this is mesh current 2. The names and the direction of these mesh currents are purely arbitrary. The direction can be assumed in any direction. I have assumed the mesh current of the mesh A, B, E, F, A in clockwise direction. Similarly, for the mesh B, C, D, E, B, I have assumed a mesh current I2 in the clockwise direction. You can also assume one mesh current as clockwise and another mesh current as anti-clockwise. Their direction and names are purely arbitrary, whatever you choose. Now apply KVL to the each mesh to form m mesh equations. Since there are m meshes, by applying KVL to each mesh, you will get a m number of mesh equations. Now, as a last step, solve the mesh equations to get m mesh currents. So these are the steps to be followed to analyze a circuit using mesh analysis. Now let us apply KVL to the each mesh and form the mesh equation and then solve it. Now let us apply KVL to the mesh A, B, E, F, A. I have already discussed about how to apply KVL to a loop in a circuit in the first video of this course. If you have any problem in applying KVL to a closed loop of a circuit, go and watch that video. So KVL is nothing but the sum of all the voltages in a closed path of a circuit is 0. So to add all the voltages in a closed path, which is nothing but our mesh A, B, E, F, A, I will start at point A and travel in this direction, which is same as the assumed mesh currents. For applying KVL, you can traverse the loop in any direction, but it will be easier if you traverse the mesh or a closed path to which you are applying a KVL in same direction as the assumed mesh or a loop current. So because our mesh current is assumed in this clockwise direction, I am traveling this mesh in same direction. So I will start at point A. From A to B there is a resistor of 5 ohms. The current is flowing from A to B, so this will be at higher potential and this will be at lower potential according to this current. So using Ohm's law, the voltage across the resistor is given by minus 5 into I1, because the current in this branch is I1 and I am traveling from A to B. The current has entered at a terminal A and it has left the resistor from B. So the current in a resistor always flows from higher potential to lower potential. So there will be a decrease in potential while I will travel from A to B. For decrease in potential, I am giving a negative sign. Where there is an increase in potential in my path, I will give positive sign and add all these voltages to get 0 according to KVL. Now from B to E there are 2 elements. One is resistor, but in this resistor there are 2 currents flowing. Mesh current 1 is flowing from mesh current I1 is flowing in this direction, and mesh current I2 is flowing in this direction. So according to mesh current I1, this terminal will be at higher potential and this terminal will be at lower potential. But this current I2 is also flowing in the same resistor. So this resistor is common to both mesh 1 and mesh 2. So according to second mesh current I2, because it is entering at this terminal will be positive and this terminal will be negative according to these currents. This resistor is having potential drop or voltage drop across it due to these 2 currents. Because the 2 currents are in opposite direction in this resistor, they will develop a potential in opposite directions. But observe, we are applying KVL to the first mesh. So according to our first mesh current I1, If you travel from B to E across this resistor, there will be a decrease in potential. But in the same resistor, according to current I2, there will be an increase in potential, because according to current I2, this will be negative terminal and this will be positive terminal. From negative to positive, potential increases. So the voltage across this resistor is given by minus 10 into I1. Why I have given minus? According to mesh current I1, I am traveling from higher potential to lower potential, so there will be a decrease in potential, hence I have given negative sign. But in the same resistor, due to the current I2, I am traveling from negative potential to positive potential, so there will be an increase in potential, which is given by plus 10 into I2. Now after this resistor, there is a voltage source. This voltage source is also common to mesh 1 and mesh 2. Even though this voltage source is common to mesh 1 and mesh 2, there will be no problem, because the voltage across the voltage source is independent of other circuit conditions, whether it may be common to one loop or it may be common to both loops. So it will supply 10 volts potential to the mesh 1 as well as to the mesh 2 in same direction. So it is the mesh current which decides whether it can be taken as a voltage rise or voltage drop. It depends upon to which mesh you are applying KVL. So we are applying KVL to the mesh 1. So our mesh current I1 is going from higher potential to lower potential through this 10 volts voltage source. So there will be a potential drop. So it will be minus 10 volts. From E to F there is no element, and from F to A there is a voltage source. Our mesh current I1 is passing from F to A, and we are also traveling from F to A. So we are traveling from negative potential to positive potential. So there will be an increase in potential. So it will be plus 15 volts. I have started at point A and reached the point A. So I have completed mesh. I have added all the voltages in the mesh 1 with algebraic signs. So these sum must be equals to 0. After rearranging these terms, you will get minus 15 I1 plus 10 I2 equals to minus 5. And cancelling minus 5 throughout, you will get 3 I1 minus 2 I2 equals to 1. Let it be mesh equation 1. Similarly, let us apply KVL to the mesh B, C, D, E, B. So I will start at point B and traverse the mesh 2 in the same direction as assumed mesh current I2. So from B to C there is a 6 ohms resistor, so the voltage drop across it will be minus 6 I2 according to mesh current I2. Similarly from B to C there is a 4 ohms resistor, so the voltage drop across it will be minus 4 I2. From D to E there is no element. From E to B there is a voltage source and a resistor. Coming to the 10 volts voltage source, it is common to both mesh 1 and mesh 2. So we are traveling in mesh 2, so we are traveling from negative terminal of the voltage source to positive terminal of the voltage source. So the voltage will rise. So it will be plus 10. Coming back to this 10 ohms resistor, this is common to both mesh 1 and mesh 2. According to mesh 1, there will be a potential drop across this resistor, because we are traveling in this direction, same as the current mesh 2. So according to current I2, there will be a potential drop in the same resistor. According to mesh current I1, there will be a increase in potential if you travel in the direction of mesh current I2. Since we are writing a KVL equation for the mesh 2, so the combined effect of voltage drop across this 2 ohms resistor according to the mesh 2 is given by minus 10 into I2 minus I1 equals to 0. Taking similar terms as common, you will get 10 I1 minus 20 I2 equals minus 10, and again cancelling 10, you will get I1 minus 2 I2 equals to minus 1. Let it be equation 2. Now we are ready with the mesh equations. Let me write the two mesh equations at same place. So after getting the mesh equations, the next step is to solve the mesh equations to get the mesh currents I1 and I2. We can use any mathematical technique to solve these two equations as in here. Let us subtract equation 2 from equation 1. You will get 2I1 equals to 2. So I1 will be 1 ampere. Substitute this I1 value either in equation 1 or equation 2. You will get I2 equals to 1 ampere. So finally we get the mesh currents as I1 equals to 1 ampere and I2 equals to 1 ampere. So our mesh analysis is over. After getting this mesh currents, you can find out any circuit variable of this circuit. Suppose if you want to calculate the voltage drop across this 5 ohms, which is given by VAB, according to Ohm's law, it is given by IAB into RAB. IAB is nothing but the mesh current I1, so it will be I1 multiplied by RAB is nothing but 5 ohms. So it will be 1 into 5, it will be 5 volts. Like this, more numerical problems will be discussed in the later sessions. That's it for this video. Mesh analysis for circuits having current sources will be discussed in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to comment in the comment box. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much.